All right, good evening and welcome, ladies, gentlemen, to another night of NGS action. My name is Isaacs, and tonight I am bringing you a Division D matchup. Division D Southeast, excuse me. We are in the Southeast Division of Division D. My name is Isaacs, and we've got FF and the Pancakes going up against Bunker Fun Time. I know these two teams are itching to get ready. We've got the lobbies getting full, so I'm going to quickly run through the map overview real fast so we can see what's going on. FF and the Pancakes won the coin toss, elected to get first hero pick. That means that Bunker Fun Time started us off with the map bans. They banned out the Braxis Holdout and the Volskaya Foundry. FF and the Pancakes returned by banning Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple, and Bunker Fun Time elected to send us over to Tomb of the Squatter Queen to start it off. A nice, small, team fight focused map, and it is going to be, I have my fingers crossed, it's going to be a bloodbath here in game number one. Both of these teams looking pretty good here in season one. F and the Pancakes, they've had a little bit of a rough start to their season. I was just talking with them in the pregame lobby, but they are veterans of competitive Heroes of the Storm. I have all the confidence they will turn it around here in the second half. And remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish this season. All they got to do is make it to that playoff stage to get things going. They are currently sitting 0-3 right now. They have 1 point. They were able to pull a map off of one of the teams they were playing against. Meanwhile, Bunker Funtime, they've had a very, very strong start to their season. They have played 3 maps and have 3 victories so far. They were not all dominations. 2 of those maps were 2-1 wins, so they are only at 7 points instead of the 9 that they could be at, but still a very strong showing. Having 6 map wins, only 2 maps dropped so far, so they are definitely coming in as that number 2 seed, looking really good up there competing for that top spot with Rise and Grind. A win tonight, a domination tonight would actually bump them up into that number 1 spot. So they're looking to pull that off here. Meanwhile, FF and the Pancakes, they're looking to bring out their first win of the season. And FF and the Pancakes start us off by banning Samuro, one of the scariest stealth champions that you are possibly going to experience in Heroes of the Storm. Has the ability to split push really well and get himself to the team fights when needed, can come from any direction, and a very, very good micro Samuro can be a very difficult thing to pin down. So a solid ban coming in from FF and the Pancakes, maybe a target ban, I'm not entirely sure, but Lucio going to be banned out by Bunker Fun Time. Not going to get the, Beatmaster himself riding on those walls. Immediately turned around and a Tassadar ban by FF and the Pancakes. Very solid mage, has the ability to wall people off in all of these small corridors that Tomb of the Spider Queen has, and that's kind of what I was gonna start talking about here. Is Tomb of the Spider Queen's got all these small little corridors, a lot of close-knit space, so looking for those champions who really shine in the blow-up comps, looking for things like Diablo from the tank pool, Mei from the tank pool. Offlaners looking for the ones that can close off space, like Sonya, Leoric. Even a Diva can really control the map here. There goes the Sonya, so never mind, we're not going to see her. Meanwhile, in the Assassin pool, looking at the Mage pool is really, really important. I mean, Hanzo can come out of the Assassin pool with his ability to use the Scatter Shot effectively on all of these walls. Asmodee, another champion that does so well in these close knits and can get himself stacked fairly quickly. Mr. G going to be able to use that Gluttony at level 1 to really get himself ramped up, get those 400 sacks, and use that Titus Sin to really start laying down the hammer in these later game team fights with those Qs. Return by the Nazebo. It was left open, no ban. Nazebo has gotten a lot of love here in these recent patches, and Vala picked up too. So Batista and Fig Double are both gonna pick up the 2 higher tiered assassins in the meta currently right now. Vala has fallen off ever so slightly, but not enough that I would say she's necessarily knocked her out of that top tier. Nazebo has very slowly climbed himself all the way up there with that Q build. So we'll see how those two are able to play it out. Gonna need some dive, and we've got some of it starting here with the Johanna. If she goes that Falling Sword, she can Blessed Shield with the tight quarters if she can get to the backline on Vala, but she has to have a team that follows it up, and Asmodee isn't that target. Malfurion's gonna be able to be there, Courtney on the Malfurion, be able to help root and put people to sleep to give their team a little bit more time, but they gotta get a little bit more dive out of this comp. or some just big grouping up together combo like a Gazlowe. So we'll see which way they decide to play it. They go for the dive or just to group them up with the Blessed Shield engage. But Ragnaros getting banned out by Bunker Funtime. I didn't think that was necessarily going to be the offlaner, but it is a ban to the map. Ragnaros does very, very well on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where he can really negate a lot of that macro pressure being put in up to 2 lanes once he gets to level 20 with that lava wave. So Ragnaros not going to be seen here. And there goes the Mei we were talking about earlier. Excellent form of crowd control utility, AoE capability on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen. She's going to get the axe, and we'll see. Probably, I'm guessing this is going to be the tank and the healer coming out here from the side of Bunker Funtime and leave that off lane matchup as their last pick to get a little bit of an advantage there. We'll see how they decide to play it, but that would be the way I would assume it would work out. And there we go. We've got the Stitches as the tank coming in, and Deckard Cain going to be telling everybody some stories here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, being able to throw down this potion. So the good news, if you're at FF and the Pancakes, they have the Asmodan, so they don't have the burst, but if they get high damage burst engage here, Deckard Cain has the crowd control utility to stop it, but doesn't have the healing capability, and Vala really needs a support that does well with the healing. It's going to be actually Deathwing, though, in that offlane, and it's going to be the Maiev. And there's the dive. There's the dive that I'm looking for. She doesn't have the burst damage, but she's going to be able to pull Vala back into the rest of the team. So she's going to be able to get herself in, and if Deckard sets his potions up in the back, Maiev can pull her forward. They will be able to get it locked down, but unfortunately, in the early game, it's going to be difficult to kill the Vala, and it's going to be Trip Bar picking up the Greymane here. Last pick in the offlaner, going to be used to counter that Deathwing, use that Curse Bullet at level 10 to really take some damage down on Ziggsy and be able to provide a lot of burst damage for the side of Bunker Funtime as well. I need to start this prediction while we get in here so you guys can have a little bit of time. Who will win game number 1? Is it going to be FF and the Pancakes, or will it be Bunker Funtime? You guys have 2 minutes. The prediction has started right now. Enjoy betting those points. See if you can get some more. And we will get ourselves into game number 1. I really do like these are two completely conflicting combos. You know, one team's looking for the isolation pick coming out of Bunker Funtime with the Stitches hooks, have the burst damage definitely to follow up on that pick. Meanwhile, F and the Pancakes, they kind of want to delay, wait for 10, and then when their 10 comes on, use their, you know, infamous Wombo combo synergy with the Warden's Cage and the Deathwing, just char them up, boil them down, and Asmodan will eventually add to that. But let's get these two teams introduced. On the blue side, we got FF and the Pancakes, we got Mr. Stu on the Johanna, we got Stampy sitting there on the Maiev, Mr. G on the Asmodan, Courtney on the Malfurion, and Ziggsy on the Deathwing. Meanwhile, on the red side, we got Bunker Funtime, we got Batista sitting on the Nazebo, we got Misery Sin on that Deckard Cain, Zednam on the Stitches, we got Fig Double on the Vala, and we got Trip Bar sitting on the Greymane. Team's going to meet up in the middle. Vala actually not going to go for the W build, going to go for the single target Creed of the Hunter, going to be able to get those stacks, but it's going to take him a while to get there. Got to get those auto attacks off and stay in that max stacked hatred. I'm trying to combine way too many words there. Meanwhile, Nazebo going to go for the E build, so he's not going to go for the Q build that was pretty buffed up there. Going to go for the E build instead, but it is going to provide a lot of that zoning pressure off of the rest of his team. Teams have to get, you know, F and the Pancakes going to have to recognize that and be careful with the engages they try to select, because if they group too much, Nazebo can use those E's to counter-engage and do a lot of damage here. But Asmodan, the thing I was most curious about, and it's a little interesting, gonna go for the Greed instead of going for the Gluttony here. So he's not gonna get stacked up as fast. Gluttony allows you to stack a little bit faster, get to those 400 stacks, but Greed allows you to get more of that the damage, definitely, with the combine of All Shall Burn, and it's going to also stack well in the later games with the Siege that they're going to want to be able to do. So, going to go with the Greed instead of Gluttony. Let's see if it pays off for him here. He's doing a very good job so far. 36 stacks in a minute. That's a very, very good start coming out of Asmodan, and let's see if that can continue. Meanwhile, FF and the Pancakes, they're going to go ahead and start this bottom Siege camp. There's really nobody in the zip code to contend this out of Bunker Funtime. They're decided going to continue with this double soak, so Mr. Stu is going to be able to do that double soak on Johanna, one of those faster clear tanks, and the rest of the side of Bunker Funtime going to get some siege damage going, want to get the tower early, get themselves a little bit of map pressure, and get some turn-ins going. You know, the unfortunate side of being the tank on a map like you know, Tomb of the Spider Queen. You want to be that front line for your team, but all the gems are usually in the back line of the other team, so the tank's usually the one who pick up all the gems. Johanna's sitting on 13, Stitches had 14. So the tanks, you know, they want to play aggressive, they want to be forward, but they have to be careful once they get those gems stacked up. They got to play a little bit more passive. But Vol getting fairly low in the bot lane. Meanwhile, Johanna and Stampy is here as well on that Maiev to try and create some chaos in this offlane. They're doing this 3-2 split, seeing if they can do better in this base race. Deathwing is going to be able to clear out minion waves very fast. Asmodan will be able to finish him off with the Q right here. Boom. And get his stacks going at 62. And if Asmodan does decide to go for the Demonic Invasion at level 10 rather than the Tide of Sin, they're going to have massive siege pressure in favor of FF and the Pancakes. It doesn't fit with the Wombo combo they've kind of set up with the Warden's Cage. That typically favors Tide of Sin a little bit more. But we'll see how they elect to play it. Both of these teams kind of just trying to figure each other out right now. You know, neither team has really picked a fight yet. Each team doing their own kind of shenaniganry in the off lanes. Not your typical, you know, 1-1 bot lane and then 4-ran rotation between mid and top. It seems that that's what's now slowly starting to develop into, with FF and the Pancakes having about a half-level lead so far. Neither team elected to go pick up their Bruiser camp quite yet. But usually they try to get that timing right around the time that turn-ins become available, and turn-ins are available for FF and the Pancakes. Not quite available yet for the side of Bunker Funtime. Important thing to note for Johanna, she did go that second blind at level 1, so she's going to be able to keep Vala and Greymane locked down just a little bit more, both heavily reliant upon the auto attacks. You know, Greymane's going to have his major burst damage coming out of the Cursed Bullet at level 10. But after that, it's mostly auto attacks from there on out. And FF and the Pancakes do go pick up their Bruiser camp. Also, Nazeebo did have to back, so they have a pretty substantial map pressure right now. They could get this final turn and just pick a side to go pressure on. Deathwing's got a good push going in the bot lane here. So it looks like bot lane's going to be where they want to focus, and they're rotating down to get the turn in. Stampy's got 17, Deathwing's got 12, and Courtney's sitting on 3. Stitch is going to come in, try to interrupt that, doesn't get the Deathwing. Maiev lands the pull, the tethered onto the Stitches, but eventually going to have to back themselves out. And Johanna looking for the engage. We get some slows going down to the Stitches. Asmodan gets with the burn. Maiev getting the swap, looking for the pick. Deathwing coming in with the Cataclysm, but not quite in range. But they've done quite a bit of damage. That's going to relieve a lot of pressure. They're going to get this turn in. And that is going to be the first objective going over to FF and the Pancakes. One Stampy, there he goes. Oh, Stitches got in, doesn't have the healing quite yet. He is known for having a lot of healing regeneration, but a big 3-man pull coming in from Maiev. Stitches uses the E to get himself topped back off, and is going to get himself out no problem at all. Uses the Ruby from Deckard. Look at that, popped her all the way back up to full health. So nice level 4 talent pickup from Deckard there to get Stitches, make sure Stitches becomes that like unkillable monster that he could turn into. It's really, really tough. A lot of sustained damage needed. And out of Asmodan and Maiev, that's not a lot of sustain. But Maiev actually did get caught in that zombie wall. So that will be first blood and 15 gems at least being dropped by the Maiev there. So that's a pretty big pickup for Bunker Funtime. Nice job by Nazeebo. Batista getting that zombie wall, making sure that he got Maiev caught in that. You know, one of the trickiest champions to really pin down. But Deathwing is able to get that turret in the bot lane. Going to continue to siege up in the top lane. The rotation goes there. Deathwing actually up in the air now. Healing up and being ready to drop in on a moment's notice. Here he comes into the mid lane. Going to set up the siege here. They've got a nice split. Vala is separated from the rest of the team. The 5-man is here, but they're not quite 10 yet. A good stun onto the Nazeebo, but nobody really in position to follow it up. Asmodan on 138 stacks, and he's building, going with the Master Destruction at 7. Looking like he's building that Demonic Invasion build. So gonna have a lot of siege pressure, gonna be able to put on a lot of macro pressure as this game develops. 10s are online here. Bellowing Roar coming out of Deathwing. It is the Demonic Invasion from Asmodan. Warden's Cage by the Maiev. It is the Blessed Shield from Johanna. Pulling it now on the Stitches there. It's Twilight by Malfurion. If he can get in and get it off, doesn't need it. Actually, Misery Sin gets pulled back in as well. Malfurion is able to get in there. Doesn't need to pop it. There it goes. Pops it, but he pick up 2 kills already. made sure that nobody was able to get out, and that's 2 huge pickups by FF and the Pancakes. And they're going to get this mid tower as well, so nice execution once their 10s came online, get 2 kills, and get a fort for it. 10's now online for the side of Bunker Funtime. Curse Bullet picked up by the Greymaid. Rain of Vengeance actually picked up by the Vala. Going for, again, that single target lockdown, sitting at 53 stacks so far of the Creed Hunter. Stay a while and listen, picked up by the Deckard Cain. We're still waiting for the Stitches. It's going to be the Gargantuan out of the Nazebo. And it is going to be the Gorge coming out of the Stitch. And Deckard going to finish, or sorry, that's Greymane. Going to finish off the channel in the bot lane. Deckard's up here with the rest of the team. And this is going to be first objective picked up by the side of Bunker Funtime. They're looking for the pick. They've got their 10s. They've got the Gorge. They're looking to find a hook onto somebody who can't escape. Maev's not necessarily the target. Johanna's not the target. It's got to be the Malfurion or the Asmodan. That's the one they're really looking for. Stitch is going to try to get himself in position, get around these minions, see what he can find here. But it's a 5-man commitment coming out of Bunker Funtime here in the top lane. Deathwing in that bot lane. The Root goes out. Big stay a while on 4 members there. Mr. G gonna fall. Misery Sin landing a huge stay a while. Listen, Stampede trying to get the pullbacks with the tether. Gets them all 3, but has to get himself out with the swap. Johanna gonna back herself off here. And this is a big fort, all starting with that massive stay a while. And listen, coming out of the Deckard Cain on all 4 members. So they get rewarded with the fort. Deathwing able to clear the minions out in the bot lane. The rotation down in the mid lane, the Rain of Vengeance actually used. Vala is a little out, but Johanna not electing to pull the target trigger there. The rest of the 4-man in the top lane. Demonic Invasion actually used defensively by the Asmodan there. Deathwing continuing to rain terror from above. Maiev is here. They have the whole combination available. Deathwing can come in at a moment's notice. Greymane, oh, did they see it? I don't know if they saw it. Misses the hook. Oh, but nobody was there to follow it up. I don't know if they noticed Greymane in time and then it was like, oh, it's too late. We already backed off a little bit. So Greymane able to sneak away there. But Johanna on the hunt, looking for more, trying to find the Stitches. That's not the one she wants. She wants to find the Squishes. Maiev is here looking for the tether. Only lands on the Stitches. Warden Cates goes down. Here comes the Cataclysm. They're throwing everything down. Nazebo gets a Blessed Shield, and that is going to be 2 kills. Oh, just 1 big heal by the Deckard there. Good heal. Kiz is able to save Stitches. Deathwing's going to continue to chase Deckard. Gets the stun, gets the W, but Deckard going to be able to heal it out. Meanwhile, Stitches was able to pull the Malfurion, and now Malfurion is sitting very low. Hook goes down onto the Asmodan. Vala's in the backline going one-on-one against the Maiev. And Asmodan's going to fall next. Stitch is going to get it away. And I think that big MVP heal coming in from Deckard, maybe it was the E from the Stitches. I'd have to look really closely at which one it is. But that burst heal onto the Stitches literally saved his life in that Warden's cage and really turned that fight well, allowed him to get around, get the Gorge off, and get himself away. So I believe it turned out ultimately to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Bunker Funtime, but for a second there, it looked pretty darn scary for them with a big Warden's Cage Cataclysm combo. So 13's online for both these teams. Even though they're leading 4-3 in kills, they are still down about that half-level lead in experience. Turn-ins are finishing here for Bunker Funtime. Vala's going to finish it off, so it's going to be the second objective picked up. Meanwhile, FF and the Pancakes, they were able to secure their own Bruiser Camp. Going to give them a little bit of pressure relief in that mid lane. Asmodan going to come to the bot lane and try and get some relief here as well. And getting the stacks going. 214 is the stack count. He will still be able to put out a respectable amount of damage at 400 stacks. Doesn't have to go the tightest skin. It's just not going to be as much damage for the AoE burst as he was looking for like a team fight Asmodan. But he is going to trade that off for the siege pressure, but they got to do it with this next turn-in. So they got to clear this one first, get that second objective turn-in, and then use their own web weavers to really make that Asmodan shine. Greymane landing that Curse Bullet. Kind of hard to miss on Deathwing. He's such a massive target to hit. Deathwing losing about half his health, uses the fountain, going to be able to top himself up, trying to get those armor stacks back up, sitting on 2 right now, almost getting to that 3rd with the healing. And should be here any second. Keeps getting chunked down though, doing a lot of damage onto this web weaver in the middle. Maiev actually going in, the stay a while onto 1 members, but Cataclysm lands. There comes the damage out of the Asmodan. Look at that huge stun. Deathwing landing a 3-man E there, gets a triple stun, and is gonna get out maybe scot-free. They gotta slow the Nazebo. Nazebo misses the frogs there, so we got the hunt on for the Nazebo. Gets rooted out, uses the stasis so that the All Shall Burn does not proc, but ultimately just delaying the inevitable. Goes down as well. Big combo, all starting with Maev. Good Blessed Shield to follow up. Deathwing was right on point with the Cataclysm, and they get the 4-for-1 pickup there. FF and the Pancakes now have their 16s, have Gem turn in. Gonna go pick up this bot siege camp, get the turn in, and look to make a statement here with their second objective. Nice turnaround coming in from the blue side there. Deckard tried to get the channel off. I believe it was a condemn that ultimately, or maybe it was the tether. It may have been the tether that pulled him back. I'll have to go back and double check if it was the Johanna or the Maya that gets credit for the interrupt. Poor Deathwing can't be pulled. Just hits the scales and bounces right off. Does the damage though, so he gets the interrupt, but that is going to be the blue web weavers coming in. 16s are right around the corner for Bunker Fun Time, so they will be able to set up a good defense. It's really going to, again, come down to can Stitches get a good hook, catch a target sleeping, looking for this Malfurion or this Asmodan in the back line, and get that lucky hook to be able to get his team that pick that they've designed their composition around. Misery Sen gets the sleep on Johanna, and that's all it's going to be. Deathwing actually hits I believe it was a minion, didn't get the curse bullet onto Deathwing. Deathwing popping out the Cataclysm. They have Deckard Cain. He is caught. He is locked down. Deathwing could just body block. Oh, he walked away. Deathwing could have just stood in the corridor, but yeah, Johanna comes over and says, I'll do that, Deathwing. You go back. And so Deckard Cain does fall. Trying to get the sneaky flank play coming in from the old man. And they're able to catch him, get that kill, and looking to get there, but a big hook coming in from the Stitches. Johanna will have the Iron Skin to get herself away. The wall is down, so she's just going to walk herself right back out. Ruko's down onto the Vala, but didn't pick the sleep at level 1, going for the stacking quest instead. So Vala will be able to get herself out. Big tether coming in on the Stitches. Stitches has to walk back, still gets pulled. A huge stun coming down as well from the Deathwing, and that's going to be another kill. A big staggered death here. They do not have the Demonic Invasion available, but this should still be the keep picked up. They have a Deathwing and a Johanna that can easily tank this fort. Maev can be there for the flip, but they elect to call back. Probably going to go pick up the boss instead. Use the boss to get that top keep. Go for the safer play. Don't want to lose any members. Nazebo did respawn. Or sorry, Deckard did respawn. So FF and the Pancakes going to go ahead and pick up the boss in the top lane. Deathwing going to come and Rain Terror. And we got a possible counter. They don't have the Stitches, but they have the Nazebo who can safely poke this away. So Nazebo putting those frogs down. Gets one onto Deathwing, and that is all he's able to get so far. Going in, gets the Gargantua down, but the channel's already finished. And Zebo continue to put the frogs. A big stay a while, gets onto 2 members, but they immediately wake back up. Here comes the combination right into the middle. Deathwing did stop the fire, probably ran out of energy. There, no, has full energy. I'm not sure what happened to it. Probably just accidentally took a step or something. But it is a 1-for-1 so far. The boss is picked up. And this boss will be able to secure this. I believe will be able to. I don't know. Vala has a lot of damage, but Greymane is down. Nazebo can put out a respectable amount as well. It's going to be close. I think they may get the boss before it finishes off. It's going to be super close here. One more hit. Oh, there it goes down. So, good defense coming out from the side of Bunker Fun Time. Able to get the boss before it gets the keep. The Demonic Invasion will potentially just be able to run up there and finish it off at any time that Asmodan wants it to go away. But 20s online for FF and the Pancakes. 18.5 so far for Bunker Fun Time. So that means FF and the Pancakes can really dictate the next minute and 15 seconds of this map. Really just get everybody back online and control the map. Siege up whatever lane they want. There is no turn-in potential coming out of Bunker Fun Time. The next turn-in potential actually favors FF and the Pancakes. So however they want to play it, it is in their control. But it looks like this top keep is the priority, as it rightfully should. Probably can leave one back here to pick up some of this soak. But gonna send the full 5 just in case there is that engage. Deckard is turning in. Of course, it is off in Fog of War, so is not really known. You know, being a referee, I can see all these fun things, but players don't have that. But Deathwing gonna just be able to burn that keep down from safe distance. A big hook. Actually, this is the hook that they wanted. Catches the Asmodan sleeping, so that is exactly what you want for Bunker Fun Time. They get the Asmodan, he throws down Demonic Invasion as a last hurrah, but there's the pick. That's a huge pick coming out of Bunker Fun Time. And they're looking to continue this pursuit onto the Malfurion. Throws down the root. I believe that's all it's going to get, but that was absolutely critical coming in from Stitches there. There's the pick that they're wanting, not the Johanna. They get the Asmodan, and now they're going to be able to turn this kind of back around. All they lost is the keep, but now their 20s are just around the corner, have all 5 members available, and can start to siege up something they want. Maybe go get that bottom fort. Even up the siege minion pressure at least 2 of the lanes. But Zednam coming in with the play there. Bunker Fun Time was bending, but they did not break, landing a critical Stitches hook there. And we'll see where they elect. They got 10 seconds left to decide where they want to siege. It looks like they're going to try and pressure off this mid lane. Use these siege minions to try and maybe get the fountain, maybe get a little damage on the keep. See if Stitches can get another hook. Malfurion's the only one he really wants, and it's going to be tough. Asmodan is back, so now he's got 2 targets available. Waiting for, tries to throw it out, gets the minion, almost caught Courtney. Minion stepped in the way, heroic minion there, died for his Malfurion. Maev looking to pull the trigger, gets the flip, has all the engage. Deathwing actually throwing down the Cataclysm as well. So that'll be a 90-second cooldown. But FF and the Pancakes still have turn-in potential, sitting at 56 gems to 38 currently on either side. So they will be able to get this next, control as long as they just passively soak up their lanes. But Stitches, he's in vision range. He's like, you see me, I see you. I'm not really scared, I'm Stitches. Looking to try and find another one of those hooks. Finds a dragon instead, but Maev ready to pull this trigger, gets everyone, gets eaten, but a big 3-man Blessed Shield with a follow-up, and look at the burn coming out of the Deathwing. Holy cow, that is 2 members falling right away. The return damage from the Zeebo is there, but it wasn't enough. He will continue to benefit if he can stay alive. Greymane getting himself away. Vala actually vaulting forward, now vaults herself backwards, getting fairly low, uses the Rain of Vengeance. Maev could carry, but she's gonna go up and get the Nazeebo instead. A big dunk coming in from the Asmo, and this is 4 members fallen on the side of Bunker Fun Time. These are long death timers. This could be an end in the top lane, and that's where the call is being made. All members of the side of FF and the Pancakes looking to pressure this bot lane. It's just Greymane to defend, and this is gonna be a rather heroic defense from a Greymane. Has a lot of damage, so somebody does get themselves a little too far out. The one thing that FF the Pancakes don't have really great without that Demonic Invasion is core damage. Only having the Asmodan, but Greymane just can't burn through this damage, so they can spread out as 5. The core is falling. These 3 siege minions definitely help out in the background with the siege damage there. Holy cow. And this will be FF and the Pancakes taking game number 1. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 going over to the blue side. For those, oh, nobody bet. Well, that's okay then. FF and the Pancakes come away your winner. So 0 points awarded to everybody. But look at that. FF and the Pancakes running that combo very effectively once they got their 10s. Had that small hiccup in the early game. Got behind with that early pick. Maev got the early pick there, and then had that one Asmodan pick as well. But outside of those 2, it really looked like they were in some pretty good control in some of these team fights. There's the occasional 2-for-1 trade that they lost, but they never really got fully wiped, or like a 3 or 4-man wipe that we saw Bunker Fun Time end up falling to there. But yeah, it is tough. When you have a Deathwing on the other team, man, Stitch's job is hard enough on a map where he's got to hook around a lot of minions. You put a Deathwing in the mix, and it's just not fair. Like, Deathwing can just body block so many hooks, but he did get those critical ones both on the Asmodan and on the Maev at one point as well. So big props to Stitches there. Got some people coming in. Very stressful to watch. That was very stressful to cast. That was just all sorts of like, oh my gosh, who's going to win this? It looked like it could go either way at some points. But FF and the Pancakes, I mean, that is a Warden Cage FF and the Pancake special right there. Throwing down the Warden's Cage and then whatever damage they want to throw on top of that. The Deathwing, very, very scary on top of that, using all his fire to just make everybody in the middle suffer. Didn't have a cleanse. That was the one thing that was missing. No cleanse on the side of Bunker Fun Time. So if they get caught in that Warden's Cage, they didn't have a way to get out very easily. So that Maev making plays, going to have to be dealt with maybe in game number 2, looking at possible respect ban on the Maev there. But look at the damage. Nazeebo, I mean, the damage pumped out, 60k by Nazeebo, 59 coming out of the Vala. They were able to put out their damage. And Vala, I didn't see if the Creed of the Hunter was finished. I assume it was. It got late enough in the game that usually it's finished off. But going for that single target burst, it definitely will help against burning Deathwing. But it doesn't help burn the Malfurion Asmodan Maev as much kind of deal. So Vala was playing a very, we want to get through, it was a very, the way the Vala build, it tells me that Bunker Fun Time was a front to back, unless Stitches got the hook. It was a very front to back composition. We're going to go through Johanna and Deathwing first. Maybe Greymane will get the Cursed Bullet. Then we'll just kind of just put everybody on top of the tank first, kill the tanks, and then it's going to be easy to pick up the Malfurion and the Asmodan in the back line using the, the Greymane and the Vala's high auto attack damage. But Johanna able to close that down with that Zealous Glare, getting that additional Shield Glare charge. So kind of a lot of fun. Very, very different compositions from both teams. Each playing theirs fairly well in the early game. Bunker Fun Time had a very good early game, but post 10, it was all FF and the Pancakes taking our game 1. And that's why I love best of 3s, because I could very realistically see us going all the way to game number 3 here in this series. Nikolai coming in. Well done, our fellow Div E East rivals. That is correct. That's always fun when you see teams getting promoted to the next division. FF and the Pancakes coming up to Division D this season. I think they played Division D before. So they're no stranger to Division D. Bunker Fun Time veterans themselves as well, looking at a lot of these names. So, but I think, Bunker Fun Time, they're not the number 2 seed for a reason right now in Division D. Like they definitely have a lot of good things going for them. There's a reason they are that number 2 seed. I don't know if I said that wrong just a second ago. I said it and I was like, that didn't kind of sound right. The way I meant to say it was, there's a reason they are the number 2 seed right now. Like, they are a very, very good team. They're going to get that coordination down. I fully expect they're going to just regroup, bounce back from this game, come out with something crazy themselves here. Or maybe just all out, let's just run at them and smack them in the face comp again. And it'll be a lot more fun. I'm really curious. Let me throw it back over to the map screen so you guys can see where we're going to go, or what the options are to go. And there's a lot of fun maps left. That's the thing I love most about this series. All the, when I look at this map setup, this T, it's like everything on the right side of the T, I'm like, not really fun maps. It's whatever. Braxis, all right. Volskaya, boring. Kind of Sky Temple, don't even get me started on. Everything on the left side of the map, like Towers of Doom, Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, Altaric Pass, it's just like, yes, I want to see those maps. Those are the really great, fun, just all sorts of, classic competitive HOTS maps. So there are a lot of good, fun maps that we still have available to be picked up here. It is going to be Bunker Fun's time, choice to tell us if they want first pick or map pick here. And it does look like, at least I know the map we're going to. We are going to go to Altaric Pass. But I don't know yet who picked it up. Map is just getting started. And they haven't set up the lobby to let me know who was the one that picked the map. But once I find that out, I will let you all know. I anticipate Bunker Fun Time wanted a first hero pick here, meaning FF and the Pancakes picked the map, but we will see. Right now, I'm sitting on the side of Bunker Fun Time. Man, I would love to play. Zednum, you can cast this one. I want to play. Sub me in, coach. I am ready. We are just waiting for a few more. There we go. Getting the lobby turned over. And currently it's sitting on FF and the Pancakes are the ones who get the first draft, meaning that Bunker Funtime was the one who picked the map. So I'm going to set that up right now. And we'll see if that flips. All right. Dagger? Is that how you say it? Is it dagger like the weapon, but with a Y? Dagger? Diagger? Comes in and says BFT likes the map pick. So maybe they did elect to pick map pick as again here and took us to Alteric Pass. But we are gotten everybody in the lobby. I'm going to let these teams know that I am ready. Hopefully they are getting ready, maybe ironing out some last minute strategies. This is kind of like the antithesis, one of the antithesis maps of Tomb of the Spider Queen, where everything's so condensed, tightly packed, a lot of walls. You know, everybody's fighting in close corridors. Alteric Pass is very open, very spacious, 3-lane map, huge map. So it allows the macro game to open up that much more. So, you know, champions who have that global presence suddenly can start making much more of an impact. Looking at you, Dahaka, Brightwing, Falstad, even the Samuro or the Murky potentially can definitely come out on a map like Alteric Pass and really shine and create a lot of that macro pressure around the map. So we'll see. And, you know, the Samuro, FF and the Pancakes immediately banned that Samuro in game number 1. Curious to see if that's going to be their ban here in game number 2 as well, as Samuro does very well on this map as well. But thank you for joining me, everybody, tonight. Welcome to the channel. Hoping you're having a fun time. I definitely can't think of a much better way to spend my Tuesday evening than casting some HOTS. I picked this one up. I did 2 Storm League games last week, or Storm League matches last week, so I was like, you know what? That covers last week's and this week's Storm League, right? And so then I can just, you know, cast all the other fun divisions this week. And don't have to worry about casting Storm League this week, right? That's how that works, right? I don't know. But may end up picking up a Storm League game. But here we go. Alteric Pass. FF and the Pancakes up 1-0 in the series. And get the first ban as well in map number 2. You know, certain champions also don't thrive as much on this map. You know, coming out of the tank pool, Diablo doesn't do as well on this map. May can do well, but not as well. Garrosh, again, not as well. Likes to be in closed spaces, doesn't like to be out in the open. Meanwhile, champions like a Nubarak from the tank pool, champions like Muradin start to come out and shine a little bit more on these open maps where they have more open roaming capability. But it is going to be, again, immediately that Samuro was banned by FF and the Pancakes. And there's the respect ban. Maev, not going to be seen here in map number 2. Stampy, you get that stuff out of here right now. No Maev for you. Malthael actually banned here in game number 2, so a change in the bans coming from FF and the Pancakes. Malthael does very, very well on this map, being able to double soak. Also a very, very fast camp clearer, which is one of the most important things you can draft on Alteric Pass. You have to have somebody on your team that can be assigned camp duty and do it fast. Whether it's a pair or one person, doesn't matter. But you have to have somebody to clear those camps as quick as you possibly can. And Asmodan getting banned out by Bunker Funtime. So 2 respect bans from the last match going over towards FF and the Pancakes. Don't want the Maev, don't want the Asmo. We'll see where they elect to go first. It was the Asmo first pick last game, so they don't have that option. Johanna does well on this map as well. You know, they did pick up the Johanna last game. She does very well on a map like Alterx. She kind of just fits the niche in every map. But they're going to take the Vala away. Stampy going to run the Vala here himself in game number 2. Take it away from Bunker Funtime. The Nazebo's still available. I think the Nazebo definitely started to shine the later that game got, which is typically how you see Nazebo played. But the Mei and the Anduin going to be picked up here. Mei was banned out in game number 1, not banned out in here number 2, and this is another very good map for Mei. Especially if you want to run it with that Avalanche, and Mei is very good with the Avalanche. You can set up a lot of pick play potential with the Mei. The Ice Wall does fairly well around the objective. Outside of the objective, it's a lot harder to use your Ice Wall to maximum value. But the Anduin with the Light Bomb is going to make it that much easier to land an Avalanche. Meanwhile, Orphea and Johannes, the Johanna picked up again by FF and the Pancakes, and Orphea, Courtney, switching off the healer, going to go to the Assassin. Going to pick up the Orphea here. And I believe they usually run, when I've casted FF and the Pancakes before, they usually run Eternal Feast with it. But we'll see if that's the way they elect to go. Maybe looking at, I don't want to say too much, but there's one Bruiser specifically I'm really looking at right now for FF and the Pancakes. And it wasn't Deathwing, but Deathwing did get the ban. We'll talk about it when FF and the Pancakes get their last 2 picks. The next ban coming out from FF and the Pancakes, looking to ban that Assassin pool or maybe a counter to the Bruiser that they're looking for. Again, Bruiser advantage, that one Bruiser matchup, they do have the advantage to pick up on Bunker Funtime. However, this map is a little less standard where the Bruiser lane is than a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen. And they're going to go with the Assassin pool, and they're going to ban the Cassia. So I anticipate this to be the double Assassin. Again, if they want to put that unless they've got a flex Assassin pick that they really wanted to hold on to, like some sort of macro play, like a Murky or a Samuro. Well, they can't do Samuro, but like the Murky, then they would pick their Bruiser here and one Assassin. Otherwise, if they're not going shenanigans, I'd expect double Assassin, but it's going to be the Sonya and the Falstad here. So getting that global pressure, Batista going to be on that Falstad, and Sonya does a lot, matches up very well. Doesn't match up well against Leoric, which actually works well with the Orphea. So if Leoric, but again, Sonya could just go to the other side of the map and run away from the Leoric and not have to worry about that matchup. So we'll see if they go for the Leoric, but the Gazlo is one I was thinking that they're going to pick up. And it's going to be Stitches. Bruiser Stitches. I haven't seen that in a while. But it's this double beefy front line coming out from FF and the Pancakes with the hyper carry Vala. Meanwhile, Zeratul picked up by Bunker Funtime, and I actually really like that pick. When you've got these 2 squishy assassins with an Ariel in the backline, as long as you can position yourself well on the Zeratul, you're going to be able to create a lot of chaos in that background. But let me get this prediction started. Who will win game number 2? Will it be FF and the Pancakes, or will it be Bunker Funtime? Maybe this time, you got 2 minutes. We'll see some votes coming in. Prediction is out. Who will win? Death Punisher, does it rhyme with Smio? Nailed it. All right. Into game 2 we go. On the left, we've got the blue team, FF and the Pancakes, looking to close this out, get their first domination of the series. We got Mr. G on the Johanna, Mr. Sue on, I believe this is Stitches. I believe Stampy is on the Arvala. Kind of hiding right on top of each other. Ziggsy on the Ariel and Courtney on the Orphea. On the red side, we've got Bunker Funtime. We got Zednim on the Mei, Tripbore on the Zeratul, Batista on the Falstad, Papa Smurf on the Sonya, and you got Misery Sin on that Anduin. And going to the bot lane right away. Going for the cheeky early. Is it going to be the health or is it going to be the fort? With the 5 members, I think they're going to want the tower. And that's where they're going for the tower. It's like they're not going to send 5 just for the health knock. They're going to go for the tower. Nobody on FF the Pancakes is here. So that's going to be tower. Now they're looking for the well as well. Maybe a little greedy. We'll see. People taking a little bit of tower damage there. The team is in. Stitches just needs 1 hook. The goes away. Anduin is available. He gets pulled in. Will end. Oh no, Ariel landing a nice knockback there. And that is going to be first blood going over to FF and the Pancakes. Thought they had the time to maybe go pick up the health fountain. But FF and the Pancakes sounded the alarm. They were on their way. And they were able to get the kill. Falstad gonna go. Hasn't actually picked the level 1 talent. So we don't know if it's gonna be the Q build Falstad. I anticipate this is gonna be the Q build Falstad. I don't think this is going to be a Mage Stad with the Zeratul. It's got to be the Q build Falstad. It could be auto attack Falstad too, but I think the Q build provides the little bit of burst they're looking for the Zeratul to pick off these backliners. But if it was a Q Falstad, he's missed a couple of these Qs already. Like Q stack. He landed the Qs, but he missed the Q stack. So we'll see. Falstad's still holding on to that level of talent. Sonya picking up the camp on her Bruiser side. Everybody else on the side of F and the Pancake. We got 3 members over here having a party, picking up their camp as well. Vala going for the W stacks, has 3 so far. Stitch is actually trying to stack up that E, get a lot more burst healing out of it and healing regen. Johanna going for the Laws of Hope, gonna be able to stack that thing up, give herself that extra % regeneration. I wonder if Falstad knows that he hasn't picked up his level 1 yet. Still holding on to it. We're at level 3. Now he goes for the W. Okay, so it is going to be the Mage Stead. Ooh, interesting. So going to go for the Mage Stead. Going to go heavily into that W build from level 1. It still has a lot of damage. It will be able to provide a lot of damage onto this front line, but it's not going to have the burst for the Zeratul onto the back line that he's looking for. However, if Mei can get these avalanches right into the team, it's curious. But he's going to stack it up really well against Stitches. Stitches has no way to get away from this. So Falstad really likes this matchup. Like, this is going to benefit Falstad mightily. He's going to be able to get those W's stacked up very nicely if he continues his zone against the Stitches. And once he gets above 40 stacks, that thing starts hurting quite a bit. That W starts putting out some serious, serious pain. So we'll just keep an eye on that Falstad stack. But I'm really, you know, here to watch this game is follow this Zeratul as we get into the mid to late tier game, because Tripbore is really going to make or break these late game engages if he can get on that triple squishy backline and get past that Stitches. Doesn't necessarily need to go Void Prism since he doesn't have a team. I mean, he can set up with the Void Prism, he can set up a nice Mei combination, but doesn't have really the team to set on it. I guess the Leap with the Sonya would work out pretty well too. I don't know. Is it going to be VP or is it going to be Might of the Nerazim? We will see. I'm particular to Might of the Nerazim. I think it's more playmaking potential. But for competitive HOTS, it's all about the combos. And we'll see if that Zeratul elects to go. I mean, with the build he's already building, going for that Q build with the Psionic Strength, I mean, these two are screaming Void Prism at 10. We'll see where he decides to go. Both teams not focusing on the objective, and on a map like Alterac Pass, typically the objective is avoided until level 10. Some teams do make the early push for it, but most teams just decide to say, screw it, and you know, get some more macro pressure, because the early objective just isn't that strong. It can be cleared out very easily, oftentimes only gets the, you know, a couple forts and that's it, or a couple towers, and that's it. So both teams electing to just get their camps, get the experience, and get to their 10s as quick as they can, foregoing any objective pressure. Looks like the side of Bunker Funtime are setting up to at least clear the minions. Whether or not they'll actually turn that into a camp pickup. Zeratul is going to go to the bot lane to get his team. And actually he's going to get some pretty good soak advantage here in the bot lane. Nobody in the vicinity from FF and the Pancakes to pick that up. So Zeratul going to deny some experience there. So Bunker Funtime coming out with a pretty good macro game so far. They're a little bit behind in experience, but I expect that gap to close if they're able to keep this pressure just like they did. We do have a little bit of skirmish. A big root from Anduin onto the Orphea. Zeratul jumps all the way in the back. Courtney goes down. Zeratul's getting fairly low himself. A huge 4-man condemned by Johanna there. And it's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Vala having a little bit of skirmish in the back line against the Falstad. Falstad trying to put the damage down. Ultimately has to get himself out. Doesn't want to barrel roll himself in and get himself in a sticky situation. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. The Zeratul for the Orphea. Kind of just each team were rotating through that mid lane and all of a sudden said, hey, This looks like a good place to fight. Anticipate more fireworks to start popping off here once we get to the level 10. And really the only change in the experience so far, the only difference in the experience is just that early kill onto the Anduin when they traded a tower down here for the Anduin. That's really the only big difference in this game so far as the experience goes. So that'll put FF and the Pancakes a little ahead on the race to 10. They did do a really great execution with that 10 advantage last time. They have their 10s here. And it's going to be the Chrysalis by Ariel, the Gorge by Stitches. It is going to be the Strafe by the Vala. Eternal Feast is picked up by the Orphea, and it is the Blessed Shield by the Johanna. Meanwhile, 10's online now. Bunker Fun Time. It is the Leap from the Sonya. It is the Might of the Nerazim from Zeratul. Gust by Falstad. Anduin and Mei holding on. It is going to be that Avalanche and the Holy Word of Salvation. There goes the Avalanche, puts Stitches in the back, but everybody jumping. A huge 4-man leap coming from Ariel. Zeratul is right on top of it, continuing to jump on the back line. Crystals popped on to the Ariel. Zeratul had to get himself out. Stitches was eating the Anduin, had to spit him out, and now it's kind of just everybody's busted their ultimates out and now trying to decide what they want to do. But Zeratul is going to thrive in this kind of a situation. Everybody low on the back line. Zeratul, if he get himself topped off by the Anduin here, going to be able to put down a lot more pressure. So nobody dying, everybody fighting, popping ultimates left and right. Sonya landing an amazing leap. A great condemn coming out of Johanna. Eternal Feast dropped in the back line to make sure that Zeratul couldn't stand in it too long. And Zeratul getting caught out here, getting fairly low. The hook actually lands onto the Anduin. Anduin taking one for the team there. Going to be able to get himself out. Meanwhile, Zeratul might not have been able to get away so cleanly, so Anduin stepping up, being a bro there. But this is the channel starting to be finished by the side of F and the Pancakes. Only 5 seconds left. Mei jumped in, but didn't have the passive available. A huge 4-man leap again by the Sonya. That's going to have to be addressed, as Sonya is going to start causing a lot more pain with those leaps the later this game goes. But Sonya gets fairly low. Misery Sin on the Anduin getting fairly low as well. Nice knockback from the Ariel into the wall. And that is 3 kills to none picked up by FF and the Pancakes. And just like in game 1, they're looking very strong here post 10 in game number 2. Couple of good team fights going in their favor so far. But we still have the X Factor, Zeratul, waiting for that level 16 where he will be able to be an absolute menace to this backline and really put the pain down. Falstad only on 10 stacks so far, trying to get a couple more stacks in that W. The Avalanche thrown down onto the Stitches, sends him back behind his own fort. Or sorry, the opposing team's fort, not his own fort. Look at all these globes that are just sitting out there, getting picked up now by the side of FF and the Pancakes, sieging up this bot lane. Top is almost gone. Believe Johanna will be able to get that hook going down onto the Sonya. The root, make sure that she doesn't go far. Mei also gets a stun there, so this is a big turnaround. Nice root, nice crowd control coming out of Bunker Fun Time there. The Anduin and Mei teaming up with the crowd control onto Stitches, making sure that Sonya didn't get delivered into the wrong neighborhood. And a big turnaround kill coming in for Bunker Fun Time there. FF and the Pancakes love the R button. Yes, they do. That has been well established in the seasons that they have been pressing that button. But 13 is available for both teams going back. The objective has ended. Only the top fort has fallen. Bottom fort almost gone as well. Bunker Fun Time a little behind in their camp pickup, but they will have priority to clear out the opposing team's camp, as this will push into the mid lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Mei and Falstad going to continue to get the stacks. Falstad sitting on around 11 stacks of W so far. About 29 more to go before that really starts ramping up and causing some problems for the front line. But look at this, a quick, sneaky boss play coming in from the side of Bunker Fun Time. And with the Zeratul Falstad, since they're both mage and the Falstad's going to have that consistent damage, they will be able to burn this down fairly quick. It's being traded out by FF and the Pancakes in the top lane. Vala is going to be able to clear it that much faster. So this is going to be a boss for boss trade. A boss in the bot lane is going to try and pick up. I anticipate they push with this to try and get the fort value here. And then back to get this, since this boss has a little bit longer to walk. And they have mid pushing. So it looks like that's what they're setting up to do so far. Now the back starts coming out. Falstad's first. Maybe get a little bit more siege damage on this before they back themselves off. They got to make sure they just don't get caught. FF and the Pancakes. Blessed Shield go out. Hits onto 3 members there. Mei is going to fall, but she is able to escape. Uses a snowball, but it is... Man, if that was a bowling, that was right down the lane. Football, we call that a field goal, but it was enough to scare everybody from FF and the Pancakes off, so everybody else able to back themselves off. And that was pretty much the trade that Bunker Funtime wanted right there. So they got the disengage, big check mark for them. They got the fort, big check mark for them. So ultimately, that trade definitely favors Bunker Funtime. You know, the keep wall did fall, but ultimately the keep is pretty unscathed. So Bunker Funtime, they have a little bit of pressure relief in that bot lane. Now they just need to make sure they get this camp, get to the 16s that they're looking for, and ultimately get on that even talent tier and look for another fight. Meanwhile, FM and the Pancakes, they want to create the pressure here. They're looking to execute anybody that Stitches pulls in. They have a lot of crowd control that they can just lock down really any target, unless maybe Mei can survive it. But anybody else, I think they're in trouble. But here we go. Second objective starting to be channeled by the side of FF and the Pancakes. Bunker Funtime still looking for that 16. It's right around the corner. They're almost there. And once they get that 16, there they have it. Now they're going to be able to contest this. They're looking for it right here in the middle. Zeratul finds the Orphea. That's the kill they were looking for. Pick off the Orphea. And just absolutely no hesitation coming in there from the Zeratul. Jumps right in. And that's a big pickup for Bunker Funtime. A big hook from Stitches. Didn't get the Gorge off. Mei jumping into the back line. Gets a stun on the Stitches. The Avalanche does land. Gets a stun onto Ariel. She gets the Crystal Aegis out in time, but Vala has to get herself to safety because Zeratul can just teleport back on. And Bunker Funtime, 16s are here. Zeratul's going to be that menace, and they are looking to turn it around here in the late game. Gonna start the channel off themselves. Meanwhile, 2 seconds for Orphea, so they will be able to get her back in time to maybe make a contestation over this objective. Vala and Ariel are gonna have finished the camp. If they get everybody to help with that, they should have it finished right around the time Orphea shows up. 14 seconds remain. This is gonna be, oh, Orphea threw out the E there. Maybe looking for Zeratul, trying to knock him out of stealth. 6 seconds. Zeratul coming in from the flank, has the whole backline available. Vala using the strafe, Zeratul right on top of her. The heal goes down, the channel is finished. Vala continuing to strafe in the backline. Holy Word thrown out by the Anduin. He gets hooked, but doesn't get eaten there. The root goes out onto the Stitches. The kill is secured. Falstad uses the gush just a little too late for Anduin, but is able to save the rest of his team. Mei is going to be able to skate herself away. Blessed Shield actually committed to throw out here. And the rest of FF and the Pancakes, actually Mei is going to fall, so it was a well done Blessed Shield. Stitches hoping not to fall in the bot lane. A big crystal coming out from Ariel keeps Stitches alive. Falstad trying to finish off the channel, but all these minions have respawned. So Falstad, he does have the escape through the bot lane since they picked up the fort. Zeratul is available as well. He can always just blink himself over there. They only have 2 seconds left on the channel. Batista trying to draw pressure away. Going this sneaky Rambo route. Look at this guy. Oh, now he's trying to back. Not going to go for the channel. Now he's looking to go for the channel. Johanna is there for the defense. He's looking for it. Holding it because they don't see the Johanna quite yet. And elects to back there. So this is going to be FF and the Pancakes picking up the second objective. Of note, look at the damage that was done onto this top keep. So the minions did stack up in that top lane. And with that wall down, they were able to get a lot of keep damage. Now, on a map like Altaric Pass, where the boss's armor scales off of how many keeps you have down, one keep isn't necessarily the end of the world for a core rush, but it does put a lot more pressure on the map. So that is going to be where the defense from Bunker Funtime decides to start. They have the minions pushing the mid lane, so they'll be able to delay that mid lane minion just a little bit. Try and clear out this top lane minion as quick as they can. FF and the Pancakes trying to clear out that mid pressure and get this mid minion pushing. But actually, this is pretty good for Bunker Funtime. Falstad's dealing with the minion in the bot. They already cleared the minion in the top. This may be just a wall. We'll see if Stitches can find that hook he's looking for. A lot better targets to pick from. Really can do anybody except the Mei. Even if he catches Sonya, leaping out is a good cooldown to get burned. Because Sonya has been absolutely devastating with these leaps engages. Finds the Mei. Sonya looking, doesn't like to pull the trigger there. Blessed Shield was actually thrown out by Johanna there as a disengage. And everybody going to retreat from FF and the Pancakes. And Bunker Funtime, they've got the delay. Lost a little bit of mid-keep health, kept bottom very healthy. Falstad doing an excellent job keeping that bot lane right where they need it. They have this small window if they want to find a fight before the 20s come online for FF and the Pancakes, but that window will close very rapidly, and then they're going to have to wait another half level to get the 20s themselves, but everybody's down here except Johanna. And they know Johanna's in the middle. They haven't checked the bushes, so they don't know that FF and the Pancakes have this scouted. Johanna has gotten the call in. A stun goes down onto Zeratul, but nobody has this scouted. Falstad does have the gust available. Nobody has any cleanse. The boss is being finished. Falstad can't gust too early here, and they back off. Johanna, oh, the anti-synergy, but they get the boss. The leap and the gust was thrown down. If they can just disengage, they got the prize they were looking for. The boss Mei will go down, but as long as Mei is the only one to die, this is going to be a little bit of a problem. But Sonya went head in first, maybe to get the stun to lock everybody down for Falstad, but Falstad got the gust off as well. Do they save the keep? It's going to be close. I think maybe they do. It's going to be really close. But they do. They save the keep. That's big. They lost the top keep, but they saved the mid keep. So as long as they can do that again, they wait for Mei to come back online. The boss ultimately getting just a couple tower shots, since everybody from FF and the Pancakes was in that position to start burning it right when it spawned. But it did delay for the level 20 coming out of Bunker Funtime. Looking at some of these 20s, Andy would go for the Spike Heal, Zeratul, upgrading the Might of the Nerazim. Will we see a pretty much carbon copy of the last fight but in reverse? FF and the Pancakes starting it off. Zeratul has scouted it out. Falstad is here, Mei is not, but everybody on FF immediately backing off. They're like, we know this story. This just happened in the bot lane. We don't want it to happen to us. And back themselves off. Now the minions in the mid lane are going to continue to create the pressure, so Bunker Funtime, they can create some pressure up in this top lane and keep FF and the Pancakes from pushing that bot lane out. Falstad getting that gust upgrade, so if he can find the right corridor to continually get that gust pushing people into walls, Zeratul is going to be able to put down a world of hurt on those grouped up targets. So kind of watch for this Falstad, see if he can find that flank he's looking for to get a good aggressive gust and ultimately put people into a wall and set up Sonya and Zeratul for a lot of success. That mid fort is gone. So the delay is coming out strong for Bunker Funtime. Falstad trying to get into the position to find that continual gust. Everybody on the FF the Pancakes are kind of just waiting. Not really wanting to force the fight right now, looking for the Zeratul. Zeratul actually jumping in, using the Might of Nerazim to get himself out. Mei actually now looking like she wants to be the one to fight. All the damage is gone, so Johanna is all alone with no damage, but the avalanche does miss. So that's a big cooldown, 90-second cooldown. That is burnt. They're going to have to play around that. Anduin gets hooked. He gets pulled all the way in, but Stitches doesn't get the Gorge, so the disengage coming in from the Falstad is huge. The Eternal Feast is there. The Holy Word of Salvation is popped. So, oh, big leap from the Sonya. That's what they're looking for. The engage is on, but Falstad not able to get himself back. That's one kill going down on the Mei so far. Oh, big hook coming in from Stitches again. Catches the Sonya. That's 2 kills. All these minions crashing in the top way. Now, remember, the boss does scale off of armor, so it's going to be tough to push through those minions. They might be able to do it with Zeratul and Falstad both alive. It would be a very, very risky play. Zeratul is going to be able to clear these off with Falstad. So they're going to go pick up the boss instead. It's going to allow everybody to respawn, but it is going to give them this mid keep for sure, and they're going to be able to put pressure in this bot keep. Falstad going really aggressive here. He's trying to get that channel off. He did it the last time. Nobody's here, but he's got all these minions again. He's got to get rid of these minions. He's there. He's drawing a lot of pressure back, so Zeratul is looking to maybe engage on this. Bully stitches off, and they've got this like split pressure there, but Falstad's got to be very careful. He does not want to die. Leaps himself down. Johanna is there. The hook misses. He uses the gust. He's on an adventure trying to bait everybody away. The mid keep did fall. Vala does not land the W, so Falstad continuing. He has the speed upgrade. And he's juking out the Vala. They didn't see him. So Batista's gonna get away with it. No way! What a play by Falstad. I don't know how he did that, but he did. And he got everybody on his team alive. That's a huge win. They were able to delay the objective. They just got to wait for the Mighty Gust to come back online. Actually, they're looking to fight. Falstad is here. They want to pull the trigger here. Gets the root on Johanna. Falstad doesn't have the stacks for the W, only at 17 so far. Stitch is trying to find the fishing hook. Doesn't connect there. Orphea throwing out quite a bit of damage. Has the upgraded... Oh, huge avalanche there. Can they get the leap from the Sonya? She's trying to get in. Get the leap. No, the gust. Oh, no, Sonya. Oh, there she goes. She gets the leap anyway. Huge combo goes down for a second. It looked like it wasn't going to happen. They get the one kill. Eternal Feast is putting down damage, but there's the Holy Word. Going to heal everybody off. Courtney's in a rough spot. Gets killed as well. This is a 3-for-0 kill so far. Trip Bar going to get himself away. Johanna gets rooted out by the Anduin X60. I'm going nuts. I'm messing up all the names, but that is 4-0. Huge play coming in from Bunker Funtime. You could see it develop, and you're like, there it is. No, it got to, yes, there it is. It looked so back and forth, but they're able to do it. They keep the bot keep alive, too. So this is going to be huge. Everybody's down for like 30 seconds. They're going to have these siege minions. They're really going to be able to even up this map. And Bunker Funtime, did they save the series? Johanna trying to finish off the camp, not going to be able to, and now Sonya's going to come and pick it up. My, oh my. What an absolute huge turn of events. We said it in game 1, it applies in games 2. Bunker Funtime, they bend, but they don't break, and they found a way. The Zeratul has scaled. The damage was there, that huge avalanche. 4-man avalanche. May coming in massive. And now the siege is here. All they need is one more play. Meanwhile, FF and the Pancakes. Again, you got a lot of room to work with. Don't necessarily have to commit too heavy to this defense. That solo keep pickup will not end the game. So it's game of chicken right now. Who's going to be the one that makes the next mistake? And who will punish the opposing team? The Blessed Shield actually was committed. If they saw that, they know Johanna does not have the shield available. So maybe look to make a play, not necessarily under the keep, but if Falstad can get a really good gust into a wall, if they step too far out, he can reposition himself with an E and get them all grouped up into a wall, and that's really what they want with the Zeratul and the Sonya leap. They want to find a way that Falstad can find that angle to get everybody into a wall. They're looking for it. Falstad's kind of sitting back, scoping out. He's got his periscope out, trying to find that right spot. And they aren't ready to give up this bot siege just quite yet. Vala gonna have to go respond to the minions in the top lane.
The next time our raiders charge, the storm pipes will fall.
And it looks like they're gonna commit to this one more. Vala's not there. If they want to pull the trigger, this is where you pull it. May going in, Zeratul as well. Zeratul actually gets gorged. He has the, no, he doesn't have the miners there, Zeem. Oh no, he gets the blink, but he can't blink any further, but a huge avalanche may have saved his life. The straight going out. Sonya there for the assist. Wow, look at all these ultimates being committed for the Zeratul. The blink is back up in just a second, but the keep is the one who gets the pick. And so everybody's got to get back now on the side of Bunker Funtime. The good news, all the lanes are pushed out so far that they should be able to delay for Zeratul coming back. But my, oh my, 25-minute Alterac pass game. Falstad at 24 stacks. Still trying to get to that magical number 40. Vala at 50. Stitches currently sitting on 13, but this top boss is available, and this is a big boss. This boss will provide, it won't end the game, but it's going to put everybody in that top lane from Bunker Fun Time. Which means that the top bot boss will be available and the bot objective will be available as well. So they really only need to pick up this boss, and then they could just go to the bot lane. Now, Falstad could solo defend this if nobody pushes with it, but they're looking for the engage. They don't need to engage here. Mei actually gets picked. Does she have the slide away? I don't think she's used it yet, so she may have the slide. She slides. Oh, but she gets knocked back by the Ariel, and that's a big pickup. Now this boss is huge. Now they can push with the boss. No tank available. They still have to deal with the Zeratul. But these are a lot of minions crashing in. Zeratul looking like he wants to try to find the pick. Again, this boss doesn't end. Well, unless these siege minions get addressed in the mid lane. Unless there's damage with the boss. So they've got all 5 members here right now. Zeratul's got to delay them, distract them off of it. Sonya doesn't want to get hooked here. Boss is starting to fall. Zeratul's in the back line, gets the blink, doesn't have the might of the Zerazim, so has to get himself away on his own. Does. The disengage by the Falstad. The boss is continually being focused there. It's about half to half right now. Zeratul's got to get himself back in there. Sonya gets the leap, but the boss is just being shredded. The Holy Word doesn't protect the boss, and that will be game number 2. FF and the Pancakes pulling it out in game number 2. It looked just for a second that Bunker Fun Time had found the way to get themselves back in this game. But FF and the Pancakes got themselves back together, regrouped, and got that 2-0 victory and turned their season around. Big win coming out of FF and the Pancakes here. 77,000 damage coming out from the Vala. 69 from the Orphea. Meanwhile, on the side of the red team, Bunker Fun Time, Zeratul with the 45k, Mei with 42. Wow, that's a big number from Mei. Holy cow. Went the snowball build, trying to shut down the Vala as much as she could. That's still a lot of damage, even with the snowball build. That's a lot. 45 from Zeratul, 41 from Falstad. Just never could get those W's to really connect. It's hard. Not being able to put them on the back line, was really looking just to stack off of Stitches as much as he can. Choosing the outcome. FF and the Pancakes coming away with the victory there. And what a win. Let me see if they're... I know FF and the Pancakes, I've cast them before. They typically don't do interviews, but we'll see. It doesn't hurt to ask. Let me message their... Gotta find out who their captain is this season. D Southeast, FF and the Pancakes. Still Jaeger. Jaeger is not on, so I'll message Courtney real quick. Where is... But let me see if they're going to possibly get in here and give us an interview. And if not, still, what a game. Like, what a series. It was this one was so back and forth. At times, it looked like either team was going to take the advantage. Multiple boss plays being done. I mean, you saw the Zeratul causing a lot of chaos for that backline in those later games, really shining in that late game fight with that. When they got that combo, the Mei, the Falstad, the Sonya, Zeratul, all just putting things down. Oh, it looks like we are going to get an interview. Awesome. I'm going to get an interview. I feel so special right now. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Being pissy.
What? Congratulations. Oh, nope. He popped off the lobby 3. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
Well, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing all right, man.
Doing all right indeed. Coming away with the 2-0 domination victory. How's the team doing?
I mean, it's our first victory of the season, so we're 1-3. We're feeling good about that. How's that?
There you go. Start the end of the season around right here. No better way to
Right.
do it than
Set expectations real low early on, and then bam, back in it.
it's the next level strategy right there. Get your
hmm
team
hmm
feeling, the opposing team like, oh, okay, it's just FF and the Pancakes. They're 0 and
Yeah,
3, and then all of a sudden,
just
wham,
FF.
we're
Yeah,
going we're going on an 8-0 run now, going all the
who's
way
out
up
of the
to the
blue? Who's out of the blue now? You know?
Love it, love it. Well, I mean, we know FF and the Pancakes, one of the big veteran groups of the just competitive hot scene. Let's just put it out there. NGS Heroes Lounge, the whole shebang. Um, I mean, have you guys had the opportunity to play Bunker Fun Time? It looked like with some of those bands, there may have been some target bands with the Samuro coming out in the first
Oh
game or
yeah.
both games and stuff like that. So, what kind of went into the strategy here with some of these bands?
So to answer your first question, no, I don't believe we have played them. Last season we were Division E. Historically we had a great season and then got dumped out in the first round of the playoffs,
Hmm.
and then found ourselves in Division D. So we're playing some pretty competitive people with some platinum players, and we got a few gold fours, right?
Hmm.
So this was our first exposure to them. But yeah, we did a little bit of homework. They are a tremendously effective macro team,
Hmm.
right? And it felt like our team fight could go a little bit in our way on the occasions we had those. So we kind of both banned and drafted around the idea of denying a little bit of their macro stuff and putting ourselves in a position to, counter macro and produce some good team fights. And that
Absolutely.
worked out well for us.
So looking at game number one, then they get map pick and they take you to Tomb of the Spider Queen. A team known for macro sends you to a small team fight map. Were you guys expecting to go to Tomb of the Spider Queen? And if once you found out that's where you were going, how did that change the strategy overall? Because it looked like in the early game, you guys were just like, you know what, we're not going to conform to this 1-4 split. We're going to do our own thing and do this like 3-2 hybrid, triple soak thing and make them adjust to us. So take us through how that early game went in game one.
So, I mean, first off, Tomb is a map that we're pretty comfortable with. I mean, we largely feel okay about playing on Tomb. I think a lot of what happened in that game, our strategy was a 1-4 split, right?
Hmm.
With some rotation, particularly where we had Asmo in our pocket and we were looking to stack him up. And it just sort of evolved in a way where we had some opportunities throughout the game to do things differently, split and get some results, get a couple kills out of the way, apply a little lane pressure, do things that were probably outside of the normal mold. So I wouldn't say, we necessarily had a plan going into it at the draft stage, other than let's have some good counter macro, let's be in a position to have a reasonable team fight. And then the game just evolved in a way where we found some opportunities and we were able to exploit them. So I don't know that it would be cool for me to say right now that we knew full well we'd be able to mix it up along the way there. We didn't. We were expecting Deathwing bottom lane, everybody else rotating the top two as our sort of base strategy, and it just played out differently as the game evolved.
Yeah. So I mean, but and looking at it, it definitely was. It definitely looked like you guys kind of knocked Bunker Fun Time kind of off their rotation just a little bit. Kind of. We saw
Yeah.
this positioning, and then they're like, oh, this isn't what we are kind of expecting to come out, and then they're trying to adapt to it, kind of deal. It eventually did mold back into that 1-4 split, but it rolled it back right around the time that tens came online. And I mean, we know, I mean, I've seen that combination come out of FF and the Pancakes before. You love the Maiev Warden cage, throwing everything into the pot and seeing what comes out kind of deal.
Yeah.
Uh,
We sure
definitely
do.
ran, yeah, definitely ran it to effectiveness on that map. So, take us through kind of like, that second half of the game and ultimately the decision to, push through top lane and win it in
So,
that late game fight.
I mean, if I take it in reverse order here,
Sure.
in that push through top lane, that was just a done deal. Like that last fight worked out tremendously well for us. Not only did you have the Maiev cage going down, we had some great stuns hitting in there, and we were just in a position where we killed enough of them that we could just win. So that fell out in a reasonable way for us, that one fight. But heading into that fight, and I'd say heading into the back half of the game, we just had comfortable command of the map. And
Hmm.
like that's the thing that I think if you're able to deny Bunker Fun Time, you're going to find opportunities along the way. So we did a good job, I think, of using the macro we had, using the global that we had out of DW,
Hmm.
and moving about the map and making sure that in the moment we could exploit something, we were able to. And it wasn't more formulaic than that. It just fell out really well. In that last fight, even though DW was out of position, we were able to kind of get a lot of damage done, and produce a situation where it was just a no question win at the end of it. So one good fight is all it takes, right? Once you got good control of the map. And that's where we landed at the end of the game.
Exactly. And like you said, one good fight. We'll get to that here in game number 2 in a second. But looking at game number 2, transitioning at game 1 into game 2, now they get the choice between first map. They choose map pick again instead of first hero
Yeah,
pick. And now they pick
yeah,
a map that they're probably a little more comfortable on with the style of research that you did. Macro map, Alterac pass, like to spread things out, like to kind of push the lanes, get some pressure in there. So when you guys saw Alterac pass was coming up, what was the consent? What? How did you guys approach the draft phase? I mean, don't give away any like super secret strats or anything like that.
no,
But
no. This is,
just this was going to be a map that Bunker Fun Time liked to play more comfortably their style of game on. So how did you guys approach that in the draft phase of game 2?
I mean, even past them having a good time on that map, that's not a map we generally have a good time on. So, like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know that we were really excited to see that pick, but we were super happy to take first pick because it put us in a position to sort of deny their primary macro again. I mean, that Samoro is something that they function really well on. We're in a position to draft Asmo if he's still up, stuff like that. But our strategy was largely the same. Let's make some reasonable picks for lane push, just
Hmm.
so we can deal with them being aggressive about that. And let's put ourselves in a position to win fights. And, Vala, I mean, she's been normalized a little bit, but she's still in a relatively strong position.
Correct. Yep.
We went with a double tank there, and that was a lot of starting off with kind of figuring Joe was a flexible pick that we could bounce around, and then it
Hmm.
just turning into something where we want good macro, we want to have a good team fight engage. We've got our top damage dealers on their top damage dealers. Let's just see how this thing plays out. And along the way, I wouldn't say we got tremendously lucky. We had a couple good hooks, not
Hmm.
a million of them, to pull people out of position. Joe was certainly doing her job to double soak pretty effectively. So, things just kind of fell together in that let's counter push their macro. Let's be in a position to have a reasonable team fight when it comes up. And that just played out, right? With the exception of one truly awful snowball towards the end of the game.
That was the
Up
one
at the,
fight I was gonna mention that
yeah,
it takes one
look,
team fight, and
right.
you saw it come
There's
out.
no, if four people get snowballed and stunned for 2 seconds, that's going to be a bad outcome. And there's no working around that thing. Like, that was just a tough situation. But because we did go out of our way to sort of pick good macro game and pick a game that had good team fights, we had advantage at that point. So while we coughed up some stuff from that one incident, we were able to recover. I think we even got a Zeratul kill on the back end of it.
Hmm.
And then we were able to sort of bounce back and deliver the kind of game we wanted. I mean, it was still chaos, man. Like,
It was
we're up
very
that top boss
chaotic.
towards the end. We've got stitches in a bush. Just, dude, all you got to do is just you got to eat the Griffin when it comes in. You just got to eat Falstad. That's the only thing that's going to cost us this boss here. And we're just panic playing at that point in time, trying to get back to a point where we're, all the lanes are pushed out in their direction. I wasn't a huge fan of
Sure.
the call to go in and core at the end with that boss. I didn't think that was going to work out for us. I was super wrong. We pulled that together pretty well, and everything came together. But the story of both of those games is just, you understand Bunker Fun Team's a great macro team, and they really are a great macro team. They came into this 3-0. We did our best with the means we had to sort of deny that great macro, and we had some good team fights, and Bob's your uncle, right?
Right. So looking, the one question I definitely had going into that late game team fight is that last boss call. Was the plan always, when you guys were formulating it, you talked about, eat the Falstead, don't make sure he gets the gust, stuff like that. Was the plan always we get this boss, we end the game here, or was it we get top
Oh,
boss, then we're gonna go bot boss, then we're gonna get objective, and we'll just kind of just squeeze them, and then all of a sudden the May pick happens, and it's like, never mind, we're gonna change the plan up here a little bit.
So I appreciate you giving us credit for having a robust plan like top boss, bottom boss, then to objective.
I mean,
That's
that's what
not
I
what we were
thought it was going
thinking.
to be.
We were thinking, let's get that top boss. And then the May pick happened, and the call was made to dive the core. And again, I was complaining all the way to the core. I don't think this is the right thing. I think we just bundle back, get the objective, let the boss stall things out a little bit. But I was definitely proven wrong. That was the right thing to do, as we just smoked that core pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean that core. I was even surprised at how fast that core shred. Still had the one armor, but it did end up falling pretty quickly, giving you guys the 2-0 domination victory. Definitely nice turnaround for the season for sure. So, last things I like to ask. First off, if you had to pick a series MVP for your team, who would it be for this
I
matchup
mean,
against Bunker Funtime?
listen, bottom line, whoever played that DW and Oriole, that guy is awesome, right?
Give that
I
guy
mean,
major props.
I think it was a pretty collaborative effort. I do think that Stampy made the correct calls towards the end of the game, so I'm happy to give some props to him. Even if I was in violent disagreement at the time, I think he probably pulled us together and brought that game home for us. So let's go. Probably XYXGY, but maybe Stampy because he was actually the better player that made the right calls. All right.
Love it. Awesome. All right. Well, actually, last things last, I'm going to open it up for you. Any shout outs you'd like to give? The floor is yours.
The standard. I love the fact that NGS is putting this on. I love the fact that Heroes is gaining steam. That's an absolutely awesome thing to have happen
Absolutely.
after everything that fell apart. Jesus, what was that? 2019 at this point in time.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago,
ISEX.
2019, I think.
Yeah, that was a painful December. I really appreciate you taking the time to cast us tonight and take the
Absolutely.
interview. Certainly, Bunker Fun Time. We had your number, but I suspect if we played 10 matches, you guys would win 9 of them. So we appreciate tossing us a free one tonight so we could feel better about ourselves on this season. And then obviously my squad here who pulled it together today.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in for this interview. Congratulations again to FF and the Pancakes getting their first win of the season. Looking for a few more coming down the road, and excited to see, hopefully not the first round exodus this late. Hopefully it's a deep playoff run in Division D, and I guess that story has yet to be told.
Yeah, man. Thanks a ton. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was XYXGY. I call him Zixi. I know that's not how his name is probably pronounced, but that was your Deathwing and Ariel extraordinaire coming in, giving the interview for FF and the Pancakes, giving them the 2-0 domination victory. And you love to see it. Like you mentioned, Bunker Fun Time, there is a reason they are a 3-0 team. That was a tough game for FF and the Pancakes to go up against a team and come away with that victory there. I fully anticipate that this could be a very soon, another matchup here soon in the playoffs, come the end of the season. And it would be an awesome second rematch between these two teams, because those games were definitely high stress, back and forth, a lot of fun coming out from both of these teams right here. But for tonight, that is it for me. Thank you all so much for coming out. If you enjoyed yourself, love the channel, love the casting, want to catch some more NGS Heroes of the Storm action, drop a follow on this channel. You can catch me here probably 3 to 4 times a week casting here, and then I usually cast 1 day a week over on the NGS main, casting some Storm Division matchups there as well. Always send out a little notification right before I am going live. So with that, I'm going to end this. Find us somebody to raid, and we will head on over for some more Heroes action. But for tonight, this has been IceX. Thank you all so much for coming in, supporting out these two teams. Hope you had a wonderful time, and I will see you here next time. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful night.